We could look at the media's portrayal of toxic masculinity, basically shaming men just for being men. We could look at schools, forcing boys at a very young age to act more like girls, docile, submissive, and more attention, which may explain why so many young boys are said to have ADHD. We could also say a reason would be we teach young boys to walk away from bullies instead of holding their ground and fighting back. Walking away to get help from someone else makes a man or boy feel weak. No ifs or buts, it's a huge bullet to a man's pride. You want to give a man pride, teach him to defend himself. If you want to find a strong man, find a man that has goals, has a strong moral compass, knows who he is, doesn't back down from bullies, and shows signs that he would be a good father. A weak man in today's society, a man who can't defend himself, a man who's immature, a man who can't accept reality, a man who's too afraid to get hurt or hurt others, a man who only complains, a man who can't let go. The modern man needs to rewire their brain and its thought process. We have been programmed by society and this instant gratifying culture to be laid back and careless. You must understand this as a man. Men today are weaker than ever, not just physically but emotionally and mentally too. There is no sense of confidence among young men, no self-esteem whatsoever. And that's not only our fault. Our brains have been plagued by so many misconceptions. We as men need to step up and conquer our place in society. We need to take cognizance of the situation. We must stop feeding our brains the junk that social media presents to us. The absolute trash that is. Men need to be more sensitive. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't mean to say that we should hide our feelings and be more reserved with our emotional side. Not at all. But that men should abide by the feminine traits of the culture and just be an outright simp. As a man, you must know that men were meant to lead. That's how nature intended it to be. You should be unpredictable and learn to take a stand for yourself as a man. Unfortunately, this is absolutely rare in today's young men. Never ever simp for a girl. Develop yourself to the extent that girls chase you instead. Stop ignoring this massive threat to masculinity. Get up and start your shit, fellow kings. Material comforts make weak men. Simple as that. The fact that a patriotic identity doesn't play major roles in the US anymore means men are not in constant threat of being forced to fight, and by that token, their preparedness and gender assign the role of being protector. They've been told it's okay to be emotional, where men of the past were told to suck it up, and therefore had no choice but to learn to be comfortable in their position. Fathers had a role to teach youth that their boys will have to endure hardship. Now, they are coddled. Worse even, some are without fathers or have weak men for parents who endured the same terrible conditioning. They aren't taught that freedom and manliness are not founded on selfishness, but understanding their role are individuals who help protect society, both female and young. Men should have self-discipline, not a loose tongue, not loose actions. That's why we have weak men. People have told us it's okay to be something we are not, much like women have been told they should be something they are not. Women wanted feminine men. Now you got them. Tatted up muscly men that cry on command. Once women work out that they can't have a strong man that is also her counselor, shopping friend, girlfriend, etc., they can start to have realistic expectations and let men be men again. Congrats women, you ended up with hairless, feminine men that are emotionally weak and lack the balls to stand up to your bullshit unrealistic expectations. Indulge on your precious snowflake man children.